Sorry about that, guys. My computer just took a shit on me. um, but it's okay. There weren't many people watching at the time. So, basically what I'm doing today is I am doing the first stream of a series that I am calling Tuesdays with Story. And that is basically a stream that is focusing on the story elements of classic RPG video games and their effect that they had on the gaming community at the time they came out and well into years after that. So RPGs have always been a favorite style of game of mine. I've always loved RPGs, but not so much for the gameplay, which can be a little bit slow, you know, turn-based battle systems and all that stuff, but mostly because the stories are so engrossing. You know, the character development is top-notch, and these games can manage to, you know, develop on these things so intricately and with such attention to detail because they have so much time and so much space to do so. You know, you have games these days that are really good and are great RPGs for the gameplay elements and mechanics that are inherently, you know, brought into the design. But a lot of the storylines, for the sake of the game not being a 200-hour game, are kind of compromised, which is something that kind of bums me out. You know, what really got me into video games was being able to be attached to those characters and learning about all of them and all that good stuff. So when games started to kind of lose those elements, it was a bummer. But like I said, getting back to basics, the whole point of this stream is to kind of elaborate on story elements that really made these games, these story-heavy RPGs, have such an impact on gamers in the gaming community. So, with that said, let's start a fucking new game, Final Fantasy VII. Alright, so this part, when I was a kid, kind of blew my mind. So these all look like stars. Looks like an outer space kind of scene, which kind of ties into, like, you know, the overall theme of this game, which is kind of just like existential dread and meaninglessness as an individual. But your character, you know, kind of finds their purpose as the game goes on. But as it turns out, all these stars are actually materia, which is the whole fade coming up from white to green right there. They're all actually materia, which still ties into the whole planetary thing, because materia is just like crystallized energy that like carries the thoughts and feelings of the planet, which is pretty fucking cool. And when I found that shit out as a kid, it fucking blew my mind. Blew my goddamn mind. I also really like the whole, like, very, like, dystopic, kind of dark, like, awful city feel that the first part of this game has. You start off in a city called Midgar, which is what they just panned out to. It's this huge, like, they've got, you know, they have all these sectors, and it's like slums. You can see there's no, like, sky or sunlight. It's just all black. The reason for that is explained later in the game, but it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Very bleak. So Zoo's back in on this train station. You jump out. So I am playing the remastered version of this game for PC, which remastered is kind of a loose term. The character models and sprites and battle scenes are definitely all remastered, but the general backgrounds are still that good PS1 pixelated greatness. Come on, newcomer, follow me. Alright, here we go. So if you search these bodies, like a good RPG player should be searching everything, you get a potion. Little perk game right there. So this game has a turn-based battle system. For those of you who have not played turn-based RPGs before, basically, once that little green meter fills up, you can attack magic items, and you can expand what those options are through character customization earlier on. So your turn is based on that little green bar going up. It goes up pretty slow right now, so I'm gonna fuck with that later. So, say I'm trying to take my time, decide whether I want to use Ice or Bolt. Look at that shit, that guy attacks me again. So this game is based on a active battle system. So basically, even though the enemy already went, if I sit there and dawdle and take forever, the game is not going to wait for me, and I will just continue getting attacked until I'm dead or until I kill you. So this part is fucking awesome. Really good conveyance through game design. So basically, as you see, you gain EXP and AP, and you can't really see that at the top, but gain EXP and AP when you beat battle. I got 32 XP, 4 AP, and what the game shows you right away is that if you get enough XP, your character levels up. So they start you off with enough experience so that that first battle levels you up, which is kind of brilliant. If you're like a first-time gamer, as a lot of people were in the mid-late 90s when this game came out. What up, how you been? If you were a gamer, new first-time gamer when this game first came out, you learned through gameplay and without a little tutorial menu that you level up when you get enough experience, which is fucking brilliant. I love that shit. How you doing, Ben? What's going on? Get another potion from looting that guy. So real quick, as much as I love the active battle system, I'm going to switch the battle speed up to fast. So that my little green bar fills up a little bit faster. Nice, nice. Chilling's always good. So here's my dudes. Can't talk to you. Walk up to them. Prompts a little cutscene, loose turn. Wow, you used to be a soldier, huh? Not every day you find one in a group like Avalanche. Soldier? Aren't they the enemy? What's he doing with us in Avalanche? He was in Soldier, Jesse. He quit. He's with us now. I didn't catch your name, so you get to name your character, which is nice. I think I'll just stick with the default of Cloud. Pretty classic. Alright, so right off the bat, they established that your main character is kind of a dickhead. But he doesn't really care about what he's doing. He's just kind of like a paid mercenary. Once this job's over, I'm out of here, all that shit. So here we go, Master and Commander, Mr. Gunarm, yelling at his crew for being fucking rookies, going over the battle plan, targeting the North Maker reactor. Let's meet on the fucking bridge. But before that, he's got to reiterate the point that you're the enemy and he doesn't trust you. Keep this guy's default name too, Barrett. Very fitting. And hold down the cancel button to run. So I'm not controlling the character during this little running part. But they do a nice little cut to the tower that you're trying to get to. That little arrow over your head shows up. to kind of show you where everything is. And I show you that is a part of the game that you can utilize if you want to. I prefer not to have it, as it adds a little bit to the immersion. So I know that a single attack will kill these guys from my last little battle with them, but there's these fucking dogs who also died in one hit. Sweet. Was gonna use a little bit of magic there, but a good RPG player knows that you should always save your MP. MP recovery items are usually a bitch to find. So there's all these narrow little hallways, all these little areas. For now, I'm just gonna go straight to the next area objective. Fuck these guys up. Limit break. So once you get hit enough, your limit charges up, and once your limit is all charged up, you can then execute like a super attack, which does significantly more damage than your regular attacks. Let's use some ice on this guy. That's sweet, sweet polyagonal ice animation. Gotta love it. Give me that potion. You gotta say. I'll secure this shit. You focus on the mission. Alright. Yes, bro, we're really gonna blow it up. We're really gonna blow this shit up. Warning, enemy sighted. Let's see what these guys are called. Mono-direct speed. Change the music up a little bit. Yo. It's your first time in the reactor. You're just like, hell no, bro. I work for the government. Shinra is like a big, evil government corporation that runs this whole dystopic town with its fucking rusty pipes and fucking circuit board floors and shit. The planet's full of Mako energy. People use it here every day. It's the lifeblood of the planet. Shinra keeps sucking the blood out with these weird machines. The main character's just like, I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to do my job. Alright, you come with me from now on. So now, this guy joins your party. You can check out his equipment, all that good shit. Right now I don't have anything to equip anybody with, so it makes that horrible buzzer sound when I try to. Open the door. So it's cool that they have them switch when you try to get them to open doors, because as you're trying to escape later on, they're not standing by the panels, and you just kind of have to remember which one of them pushed it. Which adds to like the stress of the escape situation because you're on like a little 15-minute timer. Pretty neat stuff. Good game design. Little by little, the reactors drain out all the life. And not only that, you're just like, DGAP, bro, not my problem. Planet's dying. Wow. Only thing I care about is finishing this job before security and robo-gods come. Don't hire soldiers to be environmental activists. So at this point, you can kind of tell with his whole planet rant and sucking out the energy and all that shit, that this group, Avalanche, hired your main character to be to help them blow up this reactor because the reactor